Y'all, the YouTube cut off on me again. So this is part two, and the end of this rant is what it is. Listen, I want you to consider that you are deserving of whatever it is that you ask for. When you use your body as an instrument of sharing emotions, sharing your feelings and your emotions, you're entitled to whatever it is you want. Whatever your request is after that, you're entitled to it. Because you can't give anything to a man that is more valuable than your body. Hello. Don't get caught up in what prostitution fees, Don't get caught up in that. Like whole rates. Don't get caught up in the whole rates. Hoes provide a temporary a service for men looking for temporary pleasure without commitment. So that's bargain pussy. Hoes negotiate, they're actually bargaining. They're bargain basement, you know, right? You, on the other hand, if you're looking for something long term, you can't approach this thing as you're doing bargain basement stuff. You can't approach this as no whole rate. You can't go, well, the going rate, well, these hoes are charging, well, they're charging about 150, for an hour or something like that. A hoe ain't worried about, I'm talking real hoes that are prostitutes. They're really, really concerned about contracting anything. They put they put their vaginas at risk every day, and it is what it is for the dollar. The dollar is more important than what they can contract. They've decided that. Otherwise, they wouldn't do what they're doing. They wouldn't risk it. So you can't compare their fees to what you should require as a woman who's possibly looking for a relationship and who's seeing herself, who sees sex as an emotional connection, like a bond. You can't compare the two of those. A hoe is doing a service for an hour. That's not that ain't what you're doing. Hopefully, that ain't what you're doing this for. You are sharing a physical experience with a man so he can care more about you, so that he can possibly want to live the rest of his life with you. Hopefully, so that he'll want to commit to you. The two of these goals can't compare. You can't compare a whole goal with what you're doing when you lay down with a dude, unless you're a hoe too. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And I'm really like, we're constantly being bombarded with lies. And I'm not even worried about what men say and what men think. It's irrelevant what they think. Because they take cues from what we agree to. Men understand what they can get based on the success rates of how they act. Because they'd act a different way if there wasn't no success rate in how they acting. If they didn't get no pussy for free, then they would do something else. But since they can posture about what they don't have to do and what they don't have to do, because there are women like this chick saying that the exchange is even. A dick for vagina is an even exchange. What, you want a bill paid now too? You ain't entitled to that if you're just dating a guy. That logic. That logic. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Yes, hit the like button, please. I can't be on here too long. I gotta go drop off a painting. Oh, let me show you this. It's one of my favorite paintings I pulled out. Can y'all see it? Can you see? It's too big. Ain't she pretty? This is on wood too. This is one of my original creations. Y'all, I'm always painting beautiful little black girls, because I'm a beautiful little black girl inside who wants to be loved, protected, and nurtured. We never end that. That part of us never ends. A woman is always a little girl. A woman always has a little girl component inside of her, and I channel mine. I channel mine through my art. I'm always that person. I don't allow life to harden me, right? I don't allow the realities of life to harden me. I allow my little girl to come out and play and do whatever she wants to do. And I advise all of y'all to do that too. Some of y'all do this, this grown woman shit to a fault. Like, you on this grown woman stuff. And I already told y'all, being an adult usually means corrupting yourself. Why I channel the little girl in me? Because the little girl in me is uncorrupted. The adult part of me is very corrupt. And some of y'all are, you're adulting. Everything is, I'm grown. I do grown shit. What does grown shit entail? Drinking, drugging, having sex with men who don't care about you. All sorts of frivolities. All sorts of vices and things that really don't support your health and well-being in the long term. That's usually what encompasses being an adult. So if you want to stay clear of that, you got to go back to the little girl part of you who ate the vegetables, who didn't deal with nasty people. When you were younger and somebody wasn't right, you moved away from them. Now you go head first into them and go, well, I can handle it because I'm grown. He don't like me. He don't really like me. This is what hoes or wannabe hoes say. Any dude that you fucking that don't want a relationship with you is someone that you're consciously saying, he doesn't like me and I don't care. I'm gonna still fuck him anyway. That's what being an adult is. That's what being an adult woman is. Totally disregarding how people feel about you for the purpose of pleasure. Talk to me about how that makes some fucking sense. You know he doesn't care, but you can still extract pleasure from someone who does not care about you. And what is it? I'm an adult. I'm grown. I do grown girl. I do grown woman shit. You better go back to being 5 years old when you didn't play that. When somebody didn't like you, you had a problem with it. When somebody wasn't nice to you, you didn't play with them no more. You better go back to the inner child in you, the inner child logic, because adult logic is fucked up. Fucked up. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes. And I told y'all ladies before, you scared of these men. You think it's men that bring you down, tear you down, and it's not. It's other women. Your first manipulator is a woman. And when whatever is left, men just take whatever's left. The first person to make you feel fucked up about yourself is another woman. Whether it be your mother, your auntie, maybe a sibling, sister, or a so-called friend in school. The first person to make you feel bad about you is usually a fucking woman. And the men just get the scraps after she runs your self-esteem into the fucking ground. He just picked up what ain't dead. Whatever's left that has a little bit of a heartbeat, he takes the rest of it. Women are constantly lying to each other, constantly berating each other, constantly putting down each other. This competition thing. Love, sisterhood, where the fuck is that? Where is that? When I tell y'all, y'all got to do this, and y'all got to do your self-esteem work in the privacy of your own domicile, your own domain, quietly in the upper room. You got to meditate and look within in the dark. You got to go in the dark spaces. Not at no meetup group. You got to go in the dark and talk to yourself. Talk to the inner you. Talk to that person inside that really loathes. You have self-loathe that you got to handle. And you looking for some feel-good shit. This is what women preoccupy their time with. Well, it's toxic for you to say that. Bitch, toxic where? When you thinking it every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. Ain't nothing I could say that's more toxic than how you fucking feel on a daily basis. But you don't deal with that. You try to self-medicate by taking dick that don't want you, eating ice cream, or whatever else you're doing, and supposedly everything's going to work itself out. Supposedly. All women do is ignore. That's all they do is ignore. Should a woman date a man that at least 10 years older than her? I think it's great to have a man who's 10 years older than you. The more distance in age, the better, actually. The more distance in age, the better. So if he's 10 years older than you, that's fine. I would never advise a woman to get a man close to her age or her age. You always want somebody at least a few years older than you. It just works out better. It just works out better. Because you want a man that can sort of teach you things and lead in some sort of capacity. And the older he is, the probability of that increases. Not all the time, but the probability does increase. So, y'all, that's what I have for you today. I was sent the video and I was so thrown off. I said, let me jump on here. I wasn't even going to do a live, but I said I needed to come on here and address it because the video is going viral, and you got some, impressionable young women like, yeah, that's true. Like that makes some sort of logical sense. You put your life on the line. Every time you have sex, it's like you're laying on an operating table, I want you to visualize it like that. Because that's what it's like. It's like you're on an operating table with a hospital gown on, getting ready for a surgeon to open you up. Because that's really what sex is. The dude that you are getting ready to allow inside of you is going to open you up just like surgery. Just like surgery. Your whole fucking life is at risk. Because a lot of times, you like I said, I already broke down safe sex is not even a real thing. Because you start off having safe sex. The first night he nuts, he'll probably have a condom on. The second time he nuts, he'll probably have a condom on. But if you fuck that nigga at least 4 times, there's going to be a point where he goes, let me feel it raw. And because he's giving you orgasms and making you feel good, you're going to fuck him raw. You're going to fuck him raw. If you're with him long enough, if you're dating him long enough, he will dig in your cervix raw. Not to mention he's eating you out raw, and you probably sucking him off raw too. Even before he takes off the condom, his dick is in your mouth anyway. So there's no such thing as that. So you're putting your life, you're on the operating table, my dear. Every time you have sex with a dude, you on the operating table. And a nigga playing doctor with your vagina. He playing doctor with your vagina. He making life and death decisions when he's thrusting inside of you. Life and death decisions. Because guess what? If you dating a dude that's not committed to you, then he's fucking other women. And I said before, that's got to be a problem for you. That should be an issue to you. Dating a man that there's no commitment there, and screwing him and there's no commitment there, and there's a high probability, almost just 100% reality, that he's not only screwing you but somebody else too. That means if he's licking your vagina raw, he's licking some other girls raw too, and he's coming back with all that slime for you. If he's digging in your ass raw, if you fucked him 4 times and the 5th time he's like, listen, I want to feel it raw. Do you understand he's doing that to other women as well? And he's bringing back all that cheddar cheese, all that blue cheese, all that Limburger cheese, all that Gouda cheese. in that other girl's twat. He's scraping it inside to his urethra. With every thrust, he's gathering in all that cheddar, all that cottage cheese, packing it into his urethra and spitting it into you. Packing all of that slime from other chicks that he also don't care about and bringing that shit to you. And y'all just having a smorgasbord of bacteria swapping. And that's not a problem for you. And you don't deserve to be compensated for putting yourself at risk like that. You don't deserve a bill paid because all of a sudden now it turned from free love to prostitution, but you was already that. You just prostituting for free, but you already a prostitute. Even if money is not exchanged, that's what you are. You just ain't getting a coin out the shit. You just ain't getting the coin out the shit. Don't let no nigga tell you dick is an even exchange. It ain't never that, and it ain't never gonna be that. It ain't never gonna be that. Why? Because you have the uterus. You have a uterus. You are collecting DNA material from him and housing it. Your uterus is a storage bin for DNA. So when he ejaculates in you with no condom on, because that's going to happen, and you hoes know it, eventually that happens. There's always a slip here and there. You put your life at risk. So it's not compensation. I don't care how much shivering you do. I don't care how much shivering, quivering, coming, squeezing, all that stuff you do. It ain't never an even exchange. Never. Never. It's so sad that you have to tell women this. It might be sad, but it's necessary to say. I could easily say, well, why bother? Because in the peers that I talk to, the women that I talk to, who what I consider my peers, will be like, let them suffer because they don't care. Why waste your time telling women these things when they don't want to listen to you? This is what other women that I talk to, who are in my bracket, say it's a waste of time, Selkis. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. So let them. I can't, though. I can't. Because I'm a mom. And I'm a woman, and I know what I've gone through in my life. I know what I've gone through, and I can't just sit back and go, well, let them burn. I can't do it. I can't do it. They always say prove yourself. Your bell didn't ring, everything. I wonder why. You got to make sure y'all hit the bell so you'll get the notifications. Because there's three options. You can hit the bell, but there's a bell with two lines around it where you get all the notifications from. So you got to make sure you hit that one. Not just the regular bell, but the bell with the two extra lines around it means that you're going to get every notification. What about when a man say you have to prove yourself? You have to prove yourself. Y'all, that's a game too. If a man is approaching you because he likes you and he wants to get to know you, he wants to be with you, the burden of proof is on him. Any dude that approaches you, the burden of proof of anything is on him. It always has to be. Why? Why does it have to be? Because like I said in my previous live, and I was talking to a brother on there who's kind of going back and forth. He didn't understand the concept of who has more to lose in these relationships. The fact is this: if you get into a relationship and it doesn't work out, who moves on more smoothly, the guy or the girl? Who could just pick up and start a new life like within the next week? Is the guy able to do that, or the girl? Who? Which one? Everybody knows that a dude can be with you and have a family with you and decide to get a divorce and have a whole nother family within 6 months to a year, get married, all that kind of stuff, and just start his life completely over. When you are in a relationship, if it doesn't work out and there are kids that are birthed out of that relationship, your prospects slow down almost to a screeching halt. Why? Because time has passed, which reduces your sexual market value, and you got babies, which also reduces your sexual market value too. If you're a single mother, you're not as attractive. You're not as viable as a woman who has no kids. You have now special considerations and more baggage and more potential. This man has more potential for loss fucking around with you when you have children. He has more potential to lose dealing with you. So it is not the same thing. So when they come with all this proof shit, there's really nothing that you got to prove in that sense. He got to prove that what is he got to prove to me what he's here for. And then we could talk about the rest. But you have to establish what you're here for first. There's really no conversation outside of that. You don't have to jump through fire. He has to show you what he's there for. And then you can build a conversation or rebuttal or whatever it is around that. But he has to show what he's there for. And I'm not talking about talk. Notice I didn't say talk. He has to show you what he's there for. The burden of proof is on him because you got more to lose than him. If he ain't genuine what he wants. Guys always telling women to prove herself. I'm so tired of hearing it. That's a scam, y'all. That's a scam to get free ass. You proving yourself usually involves you opening your knees for promises and innuendo. Don't believe that hype. You don't have anything to prove. Your safety, your livelihood, everything is at jeopardy every time a man solicits you. So he's got to understand and be patient about that you have a healthy suspicion that's not going anywhere. They could tell you, you're too insecure or you overthinking or what else they like to say when you're cautious? All kind of negative things around you being cautious. They could propagate all of that. And at the same time, you got to be immovable in your pace because, again, there's too much at stake. So if he's calling your caution unreasonable or illogical or that you are insecure, that's not a dude you want to be entertaining seriously anyway. Not. Because he's putting pressure on you to perform in a way that he hasn't earned yet. That's what he's doing. He's putting emotional pressure on you to do things that you're not ready for. And what we call that is disrespect. That's what we call that. We call that being disrespectful. You don't have anything to prove. And I'm not saying that you just sit there like a lump and you don't add any value to the situation or you don't show that you have value. But the showing of your value should not involve intimacy, because that's a loser's game. The moment you open your legs, motivations change. Motivations change. Motivations slow down to a screeching halt. Y'all already know this. I'm not saying something you already know, but you're hoping that the next dude that you give ass too early to will appreciate it. And we know that they don't. We know that they don't. Should I pay on the first date? Are you male or female? Thank you, Sierra, for your donation. Prove yourself by opening your legs wider, sucking harder and longer. I mean, that's all it's about. That's all they want. Prove yourself means, when he says prove yourself, he really wants you to act as if you're in a relationship, in a committed relationship with him. That we don't do that. Oh, it's a man? So if you're a man, you're asking me, should you pay on the first date? Should you pay for what? Pay for dinner? Pay what are you asking? Listen, don't ever be afraid to tell men no, to reject their sexual advances, to just simply say, listen, let's table that. I don't really know you enough yet to do all this. Don't be afraid of men. Don't I say this to y'all, my UGC girls, all the time? This is the ugly girls club. Ugly girls can't afford to be afraid of men. Let me say it again. Ugly girls cannot afford to be afraid of men. You have to be 155% about your bottom line at all times. Why do I say this, UGC girls? Why do I say this? Because the probability of you being used, of a man wanting to use you, is almost 100%. Why do I say that, UGC girls? Because if you don't look a certain way, if you're not cute enough, then the instinct to be kind to you is not there. People need more reasons, more of a reason to respect you. An attractive woman. They don't come respecting you full on. They don't come intimidated by you. They don't come trying to impress you. Am I saying anything that isn't factual here? Talk to me. Am I saying something that isn't factual? And I'm the only one saying these things. Because I don't give a shit. I say what's real. So because that is the way it is, you can't afford to be intimidated or afraid. You have to be assertive. You have to learn to negotiate for what you want, because everything you get is through negotiation. Nobody's giving you shit for free. Now, nobody is going to give you anything for free. They need a reason to be kind to you when you're an average or unattractive looking woman. They need a reason to give you things that you ask for, and a good reason at that. Talk to me. Black pill. So we understand this, and we don't mull over, the unfairness of it. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. So we prepare ourselves accordingly. So any man that's in your face, UGC girl, you got to understand there's an agenda there. You need to find out what it is and find out if there's something that can be negotiated so that you can get what it is you want. Because it's going to take him time to fall in love with you. If you're not that great looking, he's going to have to know you personally, know your character, know other things about you. He's not going to fall in love with you right away. So that means you got to play the long game. You got to play the long game longer than a cute girl does. Cute women don't have to play no long game, but you do. You got to play the waiting game. You got to play, I'm going to win. I'm not losing here. That's what you got to have in your mind. Don't think you're coming to me to get no easy win. This is what these men think. If you're an ugly girl, he figures this gonna be a no-brainer. I ain't gonna have to do too much here. Am I saying a lie? Hello? Am I saying a lie? That's what it is. So you gotta long game this shit, long handle, spoon, everything. You gotta have all the time in the world. You can't be no chick that's on some anxiety trip. Oh, I gotta prove myself to him now, or he's gonna run. When the nigga don't want to be there in the first place. Run. When he'd rather be playing Scrabble in the first place. Well, if you're a single mother, they think you are easy to get to. Listen, all categories of quote-unquote undesirable women need to play the long game. You might not be ugly, but if you have kids, yes, the chances are there's an assumption there that you're desperate, that you don't need much of you're just looking for some attention and some me time, some outside of being a mother time, some grown folks activities. That's what he's assuming that he can offer you if you're a single mother. So you might not even be bad looking, but if you got a couple of kids running around and the father ain't nowhere in sight, you're a liability. You're even worse than an unattractive woman who doesn't have kids. You're a higher liability as a single mother. Because you're coming with extra bills. You're coming with the possibility that you might get back with the baby daddy. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on with single mothers. There's all kind of things that have to be considered with a woman who already has children. The fact that you might not want any more. So he's ending up taking care of kids that ain't his and can't get a kid out of you because you're done. There's all of that. There's all of that, the emotional baggage that comes with it, because a woman that a single mother, she comes with a special set of wounds and trauma and all, disappointment. She's coming with all of that. So he's with her and her demons and her regrets and her wish I nevers and all of that. He has to deal with all of that. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can be a good person, sure, right? But still be a liability. You can be a good person and still be a liability. So it's not just about being a good person, There's a lot of good people that can't catch a break. I wish life was fair like that. I wish being good, you just get compensated for being good. Then a lot of us would be all right. What do you do when your boyfriend and friend get too comfortable with each other? I have already mentioned to them both about how it makes me uncomfortable. Your boyfriend and your friend are too comfortable with each other? When you say comfortable, what does that mean? Are they touching each other? Are they spending time together while you're not there? What does comfortable mean? Are they flirting with each other? Yeah, men always say ugly girls are easy. I hear that a lot. Of course they're gonna say that. So you already know the men are gonna come with compliments. They're gonna come, fishing out your insecurities to tell you things that they assume you don't normally hear. They're gonna pull on your emotions. They're gonna make you. Their goal is to get you emotionally invested quickly. Because once they lock that in, they can have sex with you for little or nothing. So they got to get you emotionally tied in quick. And once you're emotionally tied in, because once you're emotionally tied in, you feel like you're in a relationship, even though it's not official, even though he said, I ain't really checking for nobody like that. I ain't ready right now. It still is going to feel like a relationship. And once sex comes in, and if that's good, oh Lord, that's the last nail in the coffin. Now you're in a situationship, and you want advice on how to get him to love you and all this kind of stuff when the dude never did. He never wanted you. He still don't want you. You're just a thing. You're just a thing. You said you hear pretty women are easy. Pretty women can be easy too. But what I'm saying is, it's assumed that ugly women don't have choices. Anyone who's limited on choices is assumed to be a easy prey. And a woman who's unattractive is assumed to have limited choices, and that's why the assumption is she'll take what I give her. So it's different. It's different. If a guy doesn't compliment you, could that still be a good sign? For example, not hypersexual, not hypersexual. Well, if that's not, some men are not complimentary in that way. Some men are not sexual in that regard. They're just not driven by sex. But it doesn't mean that he can't show that he cares in other ways. So if he's not showing that he cares in ways that are of value to him, then you're in a situation with a man who just he just doesn't care about you either. Because if he's not showing you care the way that he feels care should be shown, then you have to evaluate that as a waste of time too. There's some men that are not that affectionate, but they'll pay your bills. They'll make sure other things are taken care of. Things that he feels is how he shows, his concern. So you gotta just examine that. I can care less about compliments. A man can keep his compliments. My co-worker is officially playing house with her boyfriend. I told my husband before we got married we will not live with him before marriage. I'm not understanding why play house. Because women are buying into having to prove themselves, having to prove their worth. Just like what the sisters are asking online. They buy into that. So they play house to prove their worth and not realizing that by giving in or giving away what you don't require a man to earn, there's no incentive for him to do anything for you that requires sweat equity. He'll then in turn say, well, what I got to do all that for when I'm getting all this from you anyway, without commitment, without promises, all I'm giving you is speculation and could be maybe down the line, and you giving me what I need. So then why should I do anything that's gonna require me to work? That's why. Nope, they don't flirt or touch. They are constantly chatting and communicating. Well, my dear, uh, if they're constantly chatting and communicating, and you've already stated that you're uncomfortable with it, and it's continued, you have a friend that doesn't respect you and a man who doesn't respect you either. That's what you have there. You have a twofer. You have a 2-for-1 special. Your friend doesn't care about your boundaries, and neither does he. So you gotta be careful with that. You have two people who don't respect you. Two people. Which one of those relationships are more important to you? You'll have to ask yourself that, and then have another conversation with the relationship you really don't want to lose. And if it doesn't change after that, you got to let both of them go. I would let both of them go. If I have stated to my friend, listen, I don't like how you kikiing with my dude. I think it's a little bit much. And she does not do anything. She doesn't apologize and say, you know what? I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I'm going to stop talking then. If she doesn't love you enough to switch her behavior, it means she doesn't care about you the same way that you care about her. She doesn't value your relationship the same way that you do. That's exactly what it means. And it's the same thing for him. If you've gone to him and said, listen, I don't need you talking to my friend like this now. It's getting to be a bit much. Y'all crossing the line here. And he's like, whatever. Same thing. Same thing. I dropped them both. I'd probably sit down. We have a nice little cup of coffee, and I tell them both, listen, y'all seem like a better match to me, because I've stated that I don't like this situation. I don't like the conversations that are going on between the two of you, and neither one of you has stopped. So y'all got my blessings to do whatever the fuck y'all want to do, but y'all not gonna do it in front of me and leave them sitting there. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Y'all know I'm a wordsmith. If y'all want a diss track, if y'all looking for somebody to craft something that you need to tell a dude, and you want eloquent cuss off, listen, come to your girl. I got you. I got you. Can't nobody cuss nobody out like me. And I'm talking about real nice. Real nice. Hit to the jugular. Hit to the jugular. They probably will get together if they haven't already. If they haven't already. So sometimes you gotta keep hoes away from your man. You gotta keep these chicks away from your man. You don't need no Brady Bunch relationship. Now everything don't have to be conjoined. Your relationship with her should be separate from the relationship you have with your man. Everything don't have to come together. I know some people, they go out, the girlfriend go out, she'll invite her girlfriend and her boyfriend, they'll all go out together, and that's a little weird. Unless he with somebody too, I wouldn't do that either. Cause he feel like he got two girls on his arm. That's what he feeling inside. Like I could have two of them. I could have both these chicks if I wanted. You say you don't have friends? Neither do I. Not like that. Not like that. So there it is in a nutshell, y'all. That's all I have for y'all today. Please don't. The recap here is, don't think you're cheapening yourself by asking a man that you're sleeping with for some sort of assistance. This is what some of these cum dumpsters are propagating, that's it's some sort of moral issue when you decide to get some sort of monetary compensation of some sort from a man that you're dating. I said before that dating is a scam and being a girlfriend is a scam because they're both temporary situations. They're both situations where you're fucking a man who doesn't necessarily want to be with you on no forever full-time basis. He wants to maintain his autonomy, and he wants to maintain choices and options while screwing you. That's what a girlfriend is. That's what somebody dating is. And the problem with that, especially with dating, is when you're having sex with him, you're having sex with everybody he's having sex with. Because he's having sex with other people. If he's fucking you raw, understand that he's also fucking other women raw too. So you're not just laying down with him. You have to consider this. You have to consider this. He is slopping up, slurping up mucus and shit and piss from other women who he get quickies from when she doing a 12-hour shift and she's still in her scrubs, and she like, well, meet me in 10 minutes. And he go and tighten her up before she even shower her ass, and he bringing his sour ass balls to you. That's what you're slurping up to. And you're doing all of that for a thank you. For a thank you. You're supposed to do all of that. According to this hoe, you're supposed to expose yourself to all that shit and piss that he's licking up from the other women who don't even bother washing her ass before he comes see her. Your compensation is a thank you. Who's China White? China White? You love me, China? Are you a YouTuber too? Yes, like up the stream, y'all, before I go. Like up the stream, and please share this video with all your 16-year-old girls who's having sex, or your 17, 18, 21, 25. Some of y'all 33s got to hear it too. And unfortunately, you gray-haired coochie girls ain't got it yet too. So some of y'all 45, 55, premenopause, postmenopause need to hear it also. Because you believe in the hype too. You believe in the hype too. Even though the hair on your vagina is gray, you still ain't got no wisdom. You need to dye your coochie hair and you still ain't got no wisdom yet. Still ain't got none yet. Y'all like up the stream. Like up the stream, please. Before I sign out, if there's no more questions, if y'all have any more questions for me, please give it to me now before I go. Thank you too. Who's that? Trust self. Thank you also. Thank you also. What else I want to say? Y'all get your love potions. Get your UGC love potions, please. I put a lot of work into that. A lot of magic went into that. It's a conjuring tool. It comes with a prayer and all that. I don't play no games. It's something I've created by hand specifically for the UGC girls. So you need to go ahead and get that. You need to become a member of the UGC website. Y'all put in requests to the private Facebook group, the Ugly Girls Club Facebook group. I'm really not posting on Facebook like I used to be. So the only communication that I'm really doing on Facebook is through the group itself. So you got to answer all the questions. If you want to enter, if you don't answer all the questions, I just delete you because I don't have time for it. You don't answer correctly, and you don't answer all the questions. I just move on. So there's that. So do that. Do all of that. Peace, Phoenix. What's the website? The uglygirlsclub.com is the website. All the links to the love spell, the site, my art site, and everything is in the description box of this live. You'll find everything there. My email address, all of that. The uglygirlsclub.com is the site. Become a member of the site. iloveherart.com is my art site. So you can get sweet paintings like this that I'm getting ready to ship off. Can y'all see? Sweet murals, little murals and paintings of little girls, because I'm a little girl too, y'all. I'm not trying to be an adult. I'm trying to be Peter Pan out here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be Peter Pan. So there you go. There you go. I give it to you raw. I got a potty mouth because I really love cursing. I gotta say what it is. I really do. I enjoy it. It's a release for me. I've tried to do it the diplomatic way, and I know if I didn't curse, I would. I'd go more viral, and I don't know. Maybe one day, I don't know. But for now, I just it's in my DNA to do it. It literally is. So take it with a grain of salt. It's all LOVE. It's all for love, like Michael Jackson said. I do it for love. It really, really is. It really, really is. I'm intense because I'm afraid for y'all. If you want the real truth, transparency here, I'm intense this way because I'm talking because I'm afraid. I'm like a worried mother to a lot of people. I'm like a worried mother to a lot of y'all. Y'all don't understand. So, it is what it is. But please take the message. Please open your minds. I don't want you to fail. I don't want you to get played. I don't want you to get hurt. We can't curtail all the hurt, but we can shave off a lot of it. We sure can. So there it is. Thank you, Trust Self. Thank you. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here. Peace and love, and I'll see y'all maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. All right, peace.